All right, let's go. So today's topic is going to be how to improve communication skills. Now this is a video request sent in by Ajmal Zaman, and I hope that's somewhat in the ballpark of pronunciation, but let's go ahead and break that down into two different parts. Number one is the general idea of how to improve your skills. And then number two is going to be the specific skills. So I'm going to give you a couple tips of what to do. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into number one, which is the general idea. All right, so you want to improve in your communication skills. What does that mean? That means you're confident. What you really are trying to do is to build your confidence, and one way to go about that is repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. That can be applied to just about anything and everything. So, with that being said, I'm reminded of a quote. I'm not sure who said that at this point, so if someone does know, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But the quote is, "The only way to do something is to do it." What does that mean? Practice. Just do. So don't be too worried about how to go about things. If you're aware of what is going on and what you're doing, and also aware of the feedback that you're getting. And so since we're talking about improving communication skills, let's relate this to people and talking and communicating. So the general idea is to just do more of it. Just talk to people more. And in that repetition, you will get feedback from people of what works, what doesn't work. All right, so it's something to just to keep in mind in a general sense of how to improve your communication skills. So repetition. Once you do it over and over, you start seeing the patterns of the techniques that work, and then techniques that don't work, and then you could omit. But confidence overall is going to be your best tool, the best way to go about something when you're talking to someone. If you're confident when you're speaking with them, they're going to feel confident with you. It's an interesting aspect when you start speaking to people more. If you're confident, that actually rubs off onto them. They start to feel more confident within themselves. It starts to feel more confident speaking with you in the conversation, and it has this interesting effect. So build confidence through repetition. Okay, so let's just go ahead and dive into number two, which is specific skills. So how do we build this confidence? The specific skills I want to actually break down into two different parts as well, which is being practical and also a physical aspect to it. So let's start with the physical aspect of it. Physically, if you're standing and you're trying to communicate with someone, so let's say I'm kind of profile here. You want to stand up nice and tall and have a good posture when you're speaking to someone, and you want your attention towards them when you're speaking to them. So a physical aspect is you want to project your voice in confidence. Okay? So think and be aware of your physical body. Okay? What your head is doing, how your voice is sounding, how you're standing, what you're looking at. All these things matter when you're trying to develop your skills with confidence. So if you're confident, if you have good communication skills, you're a bit more relaxed. You're a bit more almost nonchalant, but you're there and you're attentive with the person at the same time. This mix builds the trust and confidence within another person when you're speaking to them. And so if you're standing with confidence, they will trust you in confidence as well. And so what's another physical aspect? Your eyes, okay? Your eye contact. This is pretty important. Now, I believe most people kind of have a difficult time making eye contact and keeping eye contact while you're speaking with someone. Okay, it's really important. It's really powerful. When you start making eye contact with people and paying attention and being aware of what is going on as you're speaking to them, you'll start to notice most people cannot keep the eye contact with you. Now, I'm not saying go out and start having conversations with people and give them the death stare or anything like that. You don't want to be super serious or something like that. But a good, healthy eye contact, for the most part, you want to communicate, I'm here, I'm attentive with you. And it's okay and healthy to look off every once in a while, every, few seconds or so, is you don't want to be just constantly staring at someone. That's going to come off a little weird as well. Like you're trying to reach into their soul and just rip out their soul or something like that. So you don't want to come off like that. But a good, healthy amount of eye contact is good. Now, I will say this it depends on also what you're trying to do. What is your goal? So, is your goal to speak to the masses? Is your goal to have good communication skills one-on-one, with one-on-one me and you? Or is it with a group of people? Or is it with a much larger set of people, like public speaking, for example, you being on a stage and communicating that way? Now, in a general sense, I'm going to say it's pretty much the same principles apply, whether you're one-on-one, whether you're with a small group of people, or whether you're public speaking to the masses. They will obviously slightly vary, because when you're speaking to 10,000 people, that's a little different than speaking to one person that's right in front of you. But the same principles apply. So, again, your physical aspect, eye contact, your posture, how you're projecting, your voice. Okay, this is another good physical aspect to pay attention to when you're trying to improve your communication skills. You want to project from your diaphragm, from down here, right down here, okay? I know a lot of people say it with your chest, and in a way you kind of do, but it's more so you want to bring out your chest, your shoulders in the back, your chest sticking out, but you want to push from your diaphragm right here. So, if you're familiar with the Heimlich maneuver, right? To save someone's life, if someone's choking, they have something stuck in their throat right here, the best way to save them is to, go behind them, put your arm around them, stick your fist right in their stomach, and just press into it, because that pushes the air. Your diaphragm is the muscle that pushes into your lungs, and then everything else comes out forward. So being mindful that you are activating and engaging your diaphragm here is pretty important as well, to project your voice so people can sense and can really feel how powerful your voice is to improve your communication skills. Now, these things are going to be a bit more on the subconscious side. It's not like anyone's going to be thinking, wow, this guy really projects from his diaphragm. Like, no one is really thinking that, but they will sense it, they will feel it. And so when you speak with confidence and when you speak with power from your diaphragm, it comes through. People feel it. And so that is a way to improve on your communication skills, whether you're speaking to a man or to a woman. Now, with that being said, that also goes back to, what is your goal? What is your purpose? Are you trying to improve communication skills with a woman or with the guys? You know, it will be a little different. I will say that. But the overall theme is still the same. You want to speak with confidence because people just naturally gravitate towards that. And so when let's say you're trying to hit on a lady, if you speak from confidence and from your diaphragm, she's going to naturally gravitate towards that, or probably, test you with a shit test or something like that. But that's a whole nother topic. Let's go ahead and stay on track here. So, specific skills. So I gave you a couple of examples of your physical things to pay attention to and improve on, right? Your voice, your diaphragm, how you project, your posture. And so let's go ahead and move into the other aspect. So we have the physical aspect, and then we have specific things to go through. So like practice drills almost. What I would suggest is to just talk to everybody. What I like to do when I'm trying to improve my skills, or maybe I'm getting a little rusty, or whatever the case may be, I just speak to people at I speak to the cashier, the people at the register, the people who are ringing me up. Okay, I just talk to them, whether they're man or woman. I just say, hey man, how's your day going? Or hey, I noticed your necklace. That's pretty cool. Where'd you get it? Like, just start asking and being curious about people. Just ask them stuff. That is another way to improve your communication skills, is to be interested in the other person. And be genuinely interested. Don't just bullshit like that. You want to ask good questions that intrigue you, that there could be something a little bit under the surface about that specific person. So, they might be wearing a pin on their shirt or something like that, and you're just not sure what the pin is. Like, hey, what's the pin about? Just bring up things. Bring up the obvious. Hey, you got some new kicks there. I've been eyeing those as well. Where'd you get them? When you're interested in people like you when they're talking about themselves. It's an interesting concept. You don't build trust with people by you telling them your stuff. You build confidence with people, and you build trust with people by them telling you stuff. It's an interesting thing, but it does make sense at the same time, because don't you feel closer to someone when after you've told them, some secrets, or just your past, or anything of that nature, things that are more personal to you. You feel closer to them, right? It's an interesting aspect of how the human psychology works. So keep that in mind when you are speaking to these people. And so there you go, my man. I hope that helps. Remember those tips and just keep the repetition going. On that note, God bless.